6 games in the NBA today on a Sunday, and is there anybody in the league more underrated to start the season than these LA Clippers? They are balling. Clippers just had a 4-0 homestand. Now they head to Philly where James Harden reintroduces himself to the Philly faithful. Obviously, Philly struggling to start the season at 3-12. No Paul George, no Joel Embiid again today. They are desperate for wins any way they can get them. But early on in this one, they learned a hard lesson. These Clippers are underrated. Great ball movement. This is the first of 4 games on the road for the Clippers, and they are cruising in this first quarter. Harden with a great take in the and one. Moments later, the rookie struggling tonight. McCain turns it over. The Clippers have a top 5 defense. Second quarter, the Clippers continuing to surge ahead, and their depth such a strength. KPJ to Zubac. Remember that this is also without Norman Powell in the lineup. Harden again, laser beam to DJJ. This third quarter was really when the Clippers showcased their underrated ability. It's Derrick Jones Jr. again. What an addition he's been. Few minutes later, they're out and running again in transition. Harden to Zubac. The Clippers did such a good job in this offseason adding winning pieces. There's Chris Dunn for 3. Now there's that elite defense once again. DJJ pokes it away. Coffee to Dunn. It was all Clippers all game long. The Clippers send the Sixers to 3-13. They're up by 33 at this point. The fact that the Clippers are sitting in the 5th seed and are 2 games back from the 1st seed with no Kawhi and the hardest schedule in the league to start the season is amazing. I agree. By the way, Jared McCain has been hooping, as we know. His 2 worst games in the 10-game stretch. Oh yeah, against those Clippers. 3 for 15 in this one. Clippers have held their opponents under 100 points for the 4th game in a row. It's the first time since 2017 that they've held an opponent under 100 for 4 games straight. Tomorrow night will be the Clippers' real test because they're going to deal with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics, who are doing business with Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves today in a Sunday matinee. This one looked like a really good matchup on paper, and it would not disappoint. Celtics winners of 4 in a row, and right away, Jaylen Brown setting the tone. Back-to-back threes to get the night started, and then Brown again. He is feeling it early. Very next possession, find the hot hand once again. Bill Nye would be proud. And then this is all in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Later in the first, the building is now calmed down. Minnesota up by 2, and Anthony Edwards slicing to the rim. Second quarter now, Brown was doing his thing. Now it's Tatum's turn from downtown. His turn for 3. Celtics up by 4, and now it's the OG's turn. 1-point game, early stages of the third. Remember, Tatum was ice cold in the last game against the Wizards, but he would find his shooting stroke tonight. Actually, as a team, they were ice cold against the Wizards, and tonight, they found it once again. White for 3. Moments later, White the steal, and now here comes the Boston 3-party. Holiday to Tatum, and next thing you know, they're up 15. Minnesota's been struggling to start the season. Now they're down by 14, and the haymakers keep coming. A rainbow from Tatum. At this point, with the way the Wolves have been playing recently, it felt like this game was over. But the rookie, Rob Dillingham, had other ideas. Keep him in the lineup. Wolves down by 7, 3:20 to go. Edwards keeping them close. Wolves down by 4 now, 40 seconds to go. Randall the layup, it's down to 2. Minnesota would have a chance here in the final seconds to tie or win it, and they get a good look for Naz Reid, but Boston escaped. Memo to Chris Finch, if you need me on the coaching staff, I am available. Play this rookie. He can hoop. 14 points today for Dillingham, his best game as a pro. 5 in a row for Boston. They'll meet the Clippers tomorrow, and it looks like their big fella is getting closer and closer to his return. That was a great game. We also had a great game in Miami tonight. Klay was scoreless last game, but today Klay gets it started early with a 3 and a dime. No Luka again for the Mavericks, but the Mavericks have won 4 in a row, and they continue to show that they are such a well-balanced machine. Second quarter and more from Daniel Gafford. What a block. Miami finding their groove though late in the first half. Jimmy Butler tough inside. Jimmy was questionable coming into this game, but you wouldn't know it with his energy and effort tonight. Third quarter, Miami up by 3. It's Butler against Irving in the mid-post. Jimmy doing a little bit of everything for the Heat. Now the nice dime to the rookie. Midway through the third, Heat up by 2. Butler again finding the rookie. Pelly Larson in the corner. Miami up by 7 and charging ahead. Kevin Love having himself a great night. Dallas had every reason to give up in this one, but in the fourth quarter, here come the Mavericks. Kyrie to tie it. 2 minutes to go, Dallas up by 1. Irving, the step back 3, no good, but PJ Washington, another great game. Miami down by 1. 1:10 to go. The shot of the night from Jimmy freaking Buckets. Moments later on the other end, what a game this turned into. Kyrie gives the Mavs the lead again. Now with 5 seconds to go, Miami down by 2, and Jimmy sends them to overtime. Miami down by 1 in overtime, 3 minutes to go. Butler doing everything, playmaking to Bam for 3. And now it's time to put this game on ice. Even without Luka, the Mavs gave them a great fight, but just too much Jimmy Butler. 33-9-6, Heat win by 5. Mavs' 4-game win streak ends in Miami, but shout out to PJ Washington and Najee Marshall, both with great games once again. Derek Lively also great. Nets and Kings today from Sacramento. The Kings looking to get back on track after the loss to the Clippers. In the first half, they learned a lesson that a lot of teams have learned this season. You cannot underestimate these Brooklyn Nets. Final seconds of the first, these Nets shooting the lights out in the first quarter. There's Keon Johnson. Felt like the Nets couldn't miss. Simmons to Jalen Wilson. They're up 16. Midway through the second quarter, Simmons with the defense. Nets back out on the run, and here they go again. Simmons finding Noah Clowney in the corner for 3. Final stages of the first half, Cam Thomas once again just toying with the Kings in this half. But in the third quarter, here come the Kings, down by 5, Debo the and 1. Now the Kings only down by 1. They've erased the 19-point lead, and De'Aaron Fox continuing his all-star campaign, diming Keegan Murray. Fourth quarter, Kings up by 2 now. De'Aaron Fox once again. What a pump fake and dime again. But this Brooklyn Nets team is very pesky. Cam Johnson with a 3, now they're up by 5, and the Nets putting the final touches on a very impressive road win. We knew Cam Thomas was going to get buckets this season. 34 points for him tonight, his 6th game this season already with 30 points or more. The Kings fall to 8-9 with the loss, and this has been a really weird season for them so far. They have to figure things out quickly. Now over to a team that seems like they got everything figured out. The Cleveland Cavaliers, undefeated at home, 16-1 on the season. Cleveland undefeated at home. Meanwhile, their opponent tonight, Toronto, winless on the road, and Ty Jerome adding to their misery. Every time Cleveland puts in Ty Jerome into the ballgame, it has been instant production right away. Tonight in the first quarter was no different. Jerome coming off his career night the other night against the Pels. In the first half, Cleveland up by 6. There's that man again, Jerome, probing the paint in the mid-range. Third quarter, it's Darius Garland's turn. Did you see that hezzy? Gotta give Toronto some credit though. Late in the third quarter, they're only down by 6, and the rookie Jamal Shead cuts it to 3. Early in the fourth quarter, Cleveland said enough is enough. They stopped messing around. Donovan Mitchell, and now there's that man again, Ty Jerome. Is he a stealth candidate for 6th man of the year? Cleveland now moves to 17-1 on the season. Jerome with 26 points, 5 assists, 3 boards, 4 steals. Cleveland will get a rematch against the Celtics in a week from today in Cleveland. And last but not least, today in Indiana, 2 teams that are really cold. Wizards came into this game losers of 10 in a row. The only team they've beaten so far is Atlanta. There's the former Pacer Malcolm Brogdon. We all know the story with Indiana so far this season. Can Tyrese Halliburton get going? Pacers down by 1 early in the third quarter in this one. Signs of life from Halliburton. All tied up now, 6:40 to go in the third. Halliburton the steal, and Halliburton in transition. Now they're out and running again, and Halliburton starting to find his rhythm. To me, at this point, it doesn't matter that this was against the Wizards. This had to have felt great for Hallie. And then with 40 seconds to go in the game, we saw one of the best dunks we've seen all year from Benedict Mathurin. Here it is again from Mathurin in transition. Just a nasty dunk there. The Pacers get a much-needed win to go to 7-10, and Halliburton had a good game. 21 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. This is more like the Halliburton that started last season.